Yeah, I never clicked start streaming, but I thought I did.
Okay, so never mind. Nobody knows.
Not sure why that didn't work.
We're still waiting for the stream of Splice.
I gotta go get a power cord. My chart.
There we go. It's showing it's live to me.
I'll let you know in a second. Let's
I see us up.
Excellent.
I see us up as well.
Let me just get this shared out.
I don't think my voice is coming through. I heard Petrivka.
That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's coming through. I hear you.
Okay.
Because I heard you over the head.
Oh,
I heard you through Discord.
Yeah, it's a delay.
All right. Now that it's actually working, let's get started. Everyone shut up. Here we go. It may be middle of February, but we never got to our episode where we talk about what we played last year. And in preparation for this episode, I said to myself, man, it's a really good thing that Steam has this really cool thing called Steam Replay, where they tell me what games I played. And I was excited to see what games I spent the most playing this year. And I was a little disappointed in myself to find out my top 3 games were in order: Balatro, Slay the Spire, and FTL. Welcome to episode 83 of I Think We Overleveled, and it turns out I also played a lot of older games. Baggins, what old games did you play that you were like, oh, I just kind of keep coming back to this, even though it's not new?
Oh, I mean, I played plenty of old games. You know, hang on one sec. I need to mute. What is it?
Watch Together?
What? Mute? Yes.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
No double sounds.
But
there we go. I'm getting all sorts of music. Anyway, old games I played. I built a retro gaming machine last year, and
kind of why I went to you first.
Dumped all of my retro games onto it. So let's see. Bionic Commando is kind of the first one that comes to mind, which was just let's see, where is it in here? I won't go into that. No, Bionic Commando. I actually beat Dragon Warrior for the very first time finally.
OG?
OG.
Right on. That is not an easy game.
So it's not a hard game. It's just a grindy game.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, I just spent time, like I'd listen to podcasts while I'm walking around grinding levels, and it's a classic for a reason.
All right.
But it's also definitely an old one. So
yeah. Kamizite, what about you?
I mean, I don't really play a lot of games, and my things that I play go through, like, more modern stuff, and then just the stuff that I'm just replaying over and over again because I like them. Like your Cyberpunks and your Baldur's Gate. But if I'm gonna say what I played the most of this year, by a wide margin, it's Civilization 7. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, with a bullet at the top. Because as we were talking pre-show, one of the things which me and Karina do is we do weekends where we turn on Murder, She Wrote, or whatever we decide that we're playing now, and we play Civilization as, just kind of this is a weekend that we're just not going to do anything. This is just going to be like kind of a lazy weekend. We'll throw on like football and play this. What's that?
Gilgabro was back?
Yep, they just added him.
Oh man.
Like they literally just added him this week.
And speaking of someone who will lose a weekend,
but like it's a great collaborative game that you can play over LAN if you know how to fool Steam and without paying for it twice. And they did such a good job on it that they're completely changing the gameplay in a month. And They're making it more like Civ 6 and it because it hasn't worked out for them. I think me and Karina are probably the ones that have enjoyed it the most out of everyone in the world.
All right. And Petrivka, what about you?
What old game have I been playing? Is that specifically what we're looking for first?
More just like what you keep coming back to it. Like for me, I said Balatro, FTL, and Slay the Spire. Because it turns out when I just... Yeah, I was going to guess that.
It's satisfactory. I mean, they had an update this late, or what was it? Middle of last year.
Yeah.
But I decided to just, you know what? Those games that I really get into, you know, like XCOM, I start getting into the mods, and that's what I did with Satisfactory, and that just opens up a whole new can of worms.
Oh, yes. Dear. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was doing with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I was like, oh, they finally integrated mods to make it easy. So now I've got all sorts of things, and I've got, no kidding, I'm looking at it right now, 8 playthroughs, which I'm not out of chapter 1 for because I'm trying many different mods and builds. Because that's the type of game Baldur's Gate 3 is. You play.
Yeah, the first act is long, so you can spend a while.
Yeah, the first act is long, and then you just finally like, I want to play this instead. Never mind the fact that you can just change the build of your character whenever you want. Just go to Withers. It's just, instead, what you end up doing is just like, I'm just going to build a whole new character. Because.
All right. Well, now that we got through that, because I wanted to get the obligatory... We keep going back to certain games that take up way too much of our time.
Hold on a second. You gave me a very specific question, and then you opened it up to them.
Okay.
Like get him, Baggins. Get him.
No, I'm just because like that's not like I got a different question, so I'm kind of thrown.
Okay.
The game that I mean. Yeah, the one that I didn't expect to get is into, and I went a lot deeper than I expected, was a big one from last year, and that is Silk Song.
Okay.
I'd been playing like I played Hollow Knight a little bit when it came out, and then I never beat it, and so before Silk Song came out, I started playing Hollow Knight, and I enjoyed it well enough. Like it's a good game. I understood, all the hype, but it didn't grab me. But Silk Song just grabbed me by the throat, and I ended up putting about 80 or 90 hours into that game.
Yeah, Hollow Knight was the one that I was going to mention because of all the Silk Song hype. I said, man, I should finally get around to playing Hollow Knight, and so I'm probably about halfway through it. I've been bouncing around a lot of games recently. But anyway, yeah.
Just for whatever, I don't know exactly what it is that they did, but they just refined it in such a way that it really appealed to me. Like I liked the first one, but the second game just feels so polished.
That's saying something because I'm playing Hollow Knight and that feels pretty polished to me.
It's kind of amazing what they've done with Silk Song, and there's DLC coming still. So,
well. Heavens knows they put it at a nice price.
Yep.
Yeah, what did they do? They crashed every single marketplace.
Yeah.
Have any of y'all played it?
I have
not.
But mostly that's because, like, with games like that, like, I am at a point in my life where, like, when it comes to games, I'm not playing games to be aggravated. And like, this is one of those games which I was reading reviews and I was watching people like do the games and they were getting overly aggravated with it. Like, it's one of those, like, I'm not trying to say that it's an aggravating game, but there is a certain level of difficulty which doesn't appeal to me to this game. Like, there are certain things you have to get just
you gotta
right
sweat a bit.
I understand.
And I enjoy watching it. I've got no problem watching it, but for me, the actual like playing part of it, like it doesn't. It's like when I unfortunately last year bought what's it? It's got a sequel. It's the one where you have a party of D&D people or something, but they're slowly going crazy.
Oh, Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, it's like Darkest Dungeon. Like I was like, oh, this looks great. Let me give this a try, and I hated it because of just how steep the difficulty is, and you're gonna lose.
I understand what you're saying, and typically I am 110% with you. This was an exception for whatever reason. It's just like, because most of the time, if I have trouble beating a boss, I'm just like, oh, I have I have so many other things that I need to be doing that I don't want to spend time on this. This one, it was just like, okay, I got close enough. I know how this works. Oh, I can figure this out. For whatever reason, it appealed to me. Like I walked away from Elden Ring, even though I really wanted to get immersed in it, because it just kept having my butt handed to me and I wasn't seeing how to do better. This one, I was just like, I understand the secret. And each time I do feel like I'm doing better.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me and Hades, where it just, for whatever reason, it clicks and it makes you want to get good.
It's the kind where like you're doing really well, you lose, and suddenly you lean forward, you kind of, and suddenly you're in a different position, like, okay, game face. And, that's how, rather than, walk away.
Well, I mean, since you've brought up Hades, that was another one which I know we're probably on a few of our lists for last year.
It was definitely on mine.
Hades 2. I played the pre-version of it. I know Baggins waited until it came out to play it and avoided
I still haven't played it.
That actually surprises me. And like all of the things that I just said about Silksong, yes, but as Splice will attest, I'm a mythology buff. I love mythology. I love like really cool, interesting takes on mythology and stuff like that. And just Hades 1, like, absolutely was it for me, even though it was not the usual type of game I play, and I was very bad at it, and I had to really, really kind of overpower myself to kind of get to get towards the end and really just overdo it, really. But, it was worth it for the lore. It was worth it to see all of the cool character designs for all of the Greek gods and stuff. And Hades 2 just took all of that. I was like, all right, now we're going to make it better. And they did. Like, the soundtrack is amazing. Like, the world and the bosses are amazing. The story, the character designs.
Everything from Supergiant, the soundtrack is amazing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, if Supergiant, like, wants to just throw everyone a bone, like, just give us like a really good soundtrack for the next game that you publish if you're listening.
Just let Darren Korb cook.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you just give us really good, we'll give you the pass, and maybe some other groups can catch up to you, although there's some people on this list that we've got here tonight that are in the contention for best soundtracks overall ever. But I digress. I mean, like, just like we're looking on the screen right now, the new characters that they threw out, the way they redesigned some of the characters from the first game, the story, all of it was
it was great. Like I said, for me, Hades is a 10 out of 10 game. I will say I think this is a slight downgrade, but like by that I mean it's a 9.5, and I like the changes they made. I felt they made sense, and they made it to where they made Melinoe an interesting character. They made her gameplay different from her brother in a way that's awesome, but also without having to do what happens in a lot of these style sequels where they make the older character seem lesser as a result.
So I'm just curious, since you brought it up, how exactly, because all of that, everything you just said was positive. How exactly do you feel that this was downgraded?
So it's a little spoilery, so I'll just be a little vague. I feel Hades did an amazing job with explaining the roguelike elements and the end game and the post game in a way that narratively made sense. For me, the ending to this game made a little less sense in that regard, and I will say the ending felt a little abrupt to me. I would have liked to have seen a little more massaging of it. Like I like the direction they went. I think it needed to go a little slower.
I'm not to the end yet, but also like with Hades and Hades 2, this is like a game like, oh, I've got like 20 minutes here. Let me pick up a controller. Let me do some Hades real quick. And then I go through like a playthrough or two, and it's like, all right, I'm good. Let me go do whatever it is that I was going to do. And, that's how that goes. But yeah, like, again, like this is my go-to time waster.
Yeah. I will say, I think the bosses in this version are a little more interesting in terms of just mechanically.
God. Yes, I agree.
But yeah, anyway, just to avoid spoil. But yeah, it's mostly just, I've never seen a game be able to explain its roguelike elements so well as the original Hades, and it really helped the world. This time, you could see the seams just a little bit more, and so it's like, it's not quite there. Hades is the one I will probably go back to more, but I like how distinct they feel. Like, it's one of those...
It doesn't feel like a clone.
Yeah, it's like, this is making her... And tying the fact that she's a witch to the storyline very organically. I loved it.
Yeah, and also, again, like you said, like, Melanie is not a Zagreus clone. She's got her own weapons, does her own thing, and she doesn't feel like she's better than Zagreus. She just feels like it's the difference between when you've got Zagreus, who's your fighter, and you've got Melanie, who's probably like a warlock or a sorcerer, to put it in D&D terms. They're both pretty cool. They've just got different power sets and
they
functions.
they actually make it feel different. Like, it's not just we just named it something different. It's like, no, like giving her a mana mechanic actually changes how you play her in a very tangible way.
And I look forward for Hades 3, which is going to be a side-scroller beat-em-up where you play them side by side.
All right. Okay, that was enough about Hades 2. Okay, I want to open up just a quick side tangent of weird small game that you might have played last year that you'd never heard of. For me, that was Globe Sweeper. You heard of
Minesweeper, but a globe?
It's Minesweeper on a globe. I just saw it on sale one day for 50 cents, and I was just like, I'm willing to try this for 50 cents. I've gotten a couple hours out of it. It's actually really interesting because it can do triangles, squares, or hexagons, and that actually makes it a lot hard. Triangles are maddeningly hard to do, and you unlock different skins for the spheres by defeating the game on different settings. And so, like, one, it's like play on Supermassive to unlock the Jupiter skin. And if you do it, there's like 4,000 bombs or something insane that you have to find on this giant sphere. But you unlock Jupiter if you do so.
I guess.
It's absolutely, like, it is simple as it gets, but it was nice during
it's a different thing.
Yeah, you know what, it works well for when I just want to listen to something. So
it looks like
actually I would probably enjoy this because I enjoy Minesweeper.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't love Minesweeper?
There's one guy in Maine.
All right. And do you guys have something like this where it was a random game you bought on a lark?
I have several, actually.
Okay.
You go, because I'm actually trying to figure out whether I do have this.
First off, let's see, where did it go? There is I can't find it. I put it in here. There it is. The name just caught my interest. It's just called A Game About Digging a Hole.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was last year.
You buy a house and you start digging. And you start off with a spade, and then you start finding little nuggets of money, and you go back and you upgrade your shovel, and you get a jetpack, and then you start going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you start, like, it just, but it's just this nothing game that
It came without digging a hole.
it's exactly what it says on the package.
I get it. That's nice.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what Minecraft was, but it's just the digging. It's Minecraft without the crafting.
Okay. Petrivka?
But yeah, it was one of those, I was scrolling through and it was like $3 and it was called A Game About Digging a Hole. And I watched the trailer. I was just like, I'm $3 interested. So.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do not think that. Yeah, nope. I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not play like. Let me put it like this: I didn't play anything that would be considered like a small time something. There was a franchise I bought last year that I started playing. Super cheap, but kind of on that idea that I didn't expect much out of. Well, I remember when we did this roundup last year, and I had mentioned I'd gotten Gotham Knights, and everyone was just like, "Oh," it's like, "Yeah, but I got it because I wanted like that kind of beat 'em up game, and it was super cheap, and I knew what I was getting."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like I didn't know what I was getting. But for me, that was, and I don't think I actually put it here because I forgot I had bought it last year, and it wasn't at the top of my list. But the Star Wars Jedi Saga, I managed to get both games separately for under $10 a piece.
It was on a killer deal last December, I remember.
Yeah, it was before December that I'd gotten it, but I'd caught a couple of killer deals.
And, what you say, Jedi Saga, like the Survivor and Outcast?
Fallen Order. Fallen Order and Survivor.
Jedi the Phantom Ginger, that one. And I played it and it was pretty good. I mean, it was one of those things where I think I was also getting trying to get more things for my Steam Deck, and I didn't realize that there was a specific problem with those games with their compatibility with the Steam Deck, and just trying to just kill it. Yeah, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get a decent setup to play it. But I remember playing it and I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. I liked it, which eventually when it was on sale, and I will go find this because I did put that on my list, I ended up also with Star Wars. Where are you? There you are. Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about this one.
That was...
Yeah,
sorry, did that come out last year, or was that...
I think it may have been the year before. It may have been a 24 game.
It was a 24 game, but it came out at the end of 24.
Yeah, like holiday season.
Okay, that's the other thing is I have a hard time remembering once it comes out around holidays. I have a hard time remembering.
Well, this one had a big deal about it because there was a stealth mechanic in there that was just very poorly done.
It was broken.
Yeah. The entire game was very broken because I remember seeing the clips. My favorite being a guy goes, I don't know, the game it's actually running pretty well. And literally as he says it, he's on a speeder. He falls through the earth and into nothingness. And he just pauses, just stares at the screen and just starts laughing at the timing of it.
No, I remember something similar to that. It wasn't he was on a speeder, but he fell through it, and he's like, all right, that's it. And he just actually showed himself on stream, uninstalling the game. But the stealth mechanic was broken and the story's pretty good. But I bought this because I want to say it was $15 and that was the deluxe edition.
Wow.
And the deluxe edition was, it dropped off quick because it took Ubisoft jank to the next level.
Well, it took Ubisoft jank to the next level. They went and they fixed it. They bought a bunch of stuff, or they put in a lot of stuff into it, and realize also that it was an exclusive for a little while. You couldn't get it on Steam. You had to get it off of PlayStation or Microsoft, or it was one or the other. And then the exclusivity wasn't a whole year. It was 6 months.
The timed thing, yeah.
Yeah, the timed exclusive. And then when it hit,
everyone's favorite,
everyone had already heard about the issues, but nobody had heard about the fixes. So within a week of it being on Steam, it was half price. And then I waited 2 months after that. And I said, it was just hey, we're Ubisoft. Everyone hates us. Please buy our games. We will give you so much discounts. Here, have the new game for $15. That's the deluxe. Okay, sure, Ubisoft. That's the only way you're getting me to pay for your stuff is, you're taking a loss on this. Cool.
I think I bought any Ubisoft game full price, just full disclosure.
I don't. There's very few games I'll buy full price, and there's a few
That's
companies
true.
that are on the will not buy under any circumstances. But I love Star Wars, and
yeah,
especially I like not Jedi Star Wars. Like I like the grimy far space rogue,
And there's
Han Solo kind of.
Oh my gosh, you played Republic Commando, right?
A long time ago.
I played
yes.
Republic Commando.
Republic
there
Commando.
he goes. How's it going, breakfast? That's
I've
breakfast.
been here.
Breakfast.
Until you talk, you're not
Sorry.
here.
I didn't want to interrupt.
But yeah, this was just like a mercy buy that I bought, and I really enjoyed it.
That is the saddest. That is the saddest declaration of the state of Ubisoft. A mercy buy.
Mercy purchase.
I mean, that's what it was. I wasn't even buying it for me. Like I wasn't even buying it for me in the sense of like, yes, I want this. It was just I want something. Something, and
it's what Baggins said. Where I'm $3 curious.
yeah, like this AAA game that you've worked on and you've fixed, which I don't know, we kind of said this in chat, but we really need to do a redemption arc show where we talk about games where not there's a redemption arc in the game, but the game came out, it was panned, and then the company redeemed it through their own actions and hard work, because there's a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Not often happens, but it does happen.
Yeah. I will say,
I can't agree off the
counterpoint,
top of my
it'd
head.
be amazing if companies just, released an entire full game instead of.
No, that's, Splice.
Hey,
That's why
Concord
they're
wants a full
AAA
game.
companies with millions of dollars, and that's why you have to scam people as a tooth fairy middleman. You just think too logically.
Yeah, it's
And I've killed the conversation there. So, since breakfast came in, why don't we ask him a question?
breakfast. What did you have for lunch?
Dinner.
What? Dinner
my
was a
gosh.
salad and a small plate
I
of
see what you did
spaghetti.
there.
No, that's not as good. Okay, what was, since we were asking that, what was a random kind of impulse purchase game you bought?
Okay, so I ran into this. I watch a channel on YouTube called Chess Simp, and he only speaks through text to talk, and he plays games on chess.com where he doesn't where he smurfs, but his community gives him challenges that he has extra rules that he has to play against.
Fun Day Monday.
So that the enemy obviously doesn't know, his opponent doesn't know he's doing these challenges, but he has to limit himself to these challenges.
Yeah.
Anyway, but because of that, YouTube threw a game into my feed called King of the Bridge.
King of the Bridge. Okay. Do you have a link to share with us? Because
It's on Steam.
in our little room.
I'll see
here
if I
that
can find something.
But it's chess, but it's not chess. So you're crossing a bridge and you run into a troll. That's the whole basis of the game.
As you do.
And the troll challenges you, if you want to cross the bridge, you have to beat me in a chess match. However, the troll doesn't know how to play chess. And so the troll has made up his own rules on how chess is
Game
to
Boy
be played.
graphics.
Yeah, it's green
Okay.
monochrome. So, but the troll does not tell you what the rules are. So, in order to, those are all spoilers, by the way. In order to, okay, there you go. See how the pages are blanked out, some of them? You don't find out what the rules are until you break them. Then he reveals the rule, and he is granted a cheat move as consequence, which usually results in him taking his queen and planting on top of your king, and you lose. But he will also cheat. He will also cheat his own rules, and you can call him on it if you know the rule.
Okay.
which grants you a cheat move.
I don't. Maybe this is a weird comparison. This feels like if oh my goodness, I forget what it's called. Guybrush Threepwood. What's that game series?
Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
It feels like if Monkey Island did chess.
Kind of. Yes.
That's actually not a bad point.
Your moves have to rhyme.
Also, no, that's only in fencing. But also, there are some, like, okay, you see the background? Occasionally, elements will
With
enter
lily
the
pads?
background that you can grab and throw onto the chessboard.
That's wild.
And they will play to their own
intrigued.
rules and greatly annoy the troll.
Okay.
King of the
Like in
Bridge.
one instance, there's a duck, and you could pick up the duck and put him on the chessboard. But you are not limited to the chessboard. Some of the pieces can move off the chessboard. But if you catch the troll cheating while the duck is in motion, you can pick up the troll's king, which is the troll himself, and place it on the duck. And then the troll helplessly screams as he's carried off down the moat by the duck.
You're playing Calvin Ball.
You pretty much, except no, there are rules, and there are stated rules. But he doesn't tell you what they are until you break them.
I have not heard of this.
It was extremely amusing for, you know.
I have to send this to Diesel Martini.
Yeah, that's definitely a very clever and zany thing.
How much was it?
Amused me for about a month.
It's $3. I just bought it.
I think I bought it on sale. I think I bought it for like $1.50.
Okay.
And I saw the video, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I've seen enough. It's $1.50. I'm gonna buy it. I don't know what all his rules are.
You were $1.50 interested.
I actually went in blind, if you believe it.
I don't. Who are you? What have
You
you
went in
done with
without
breakfast?
spoilers?
This was the one thing where I realized that most of the enjoyment of the game required the spoilers, but I can't 100% it because some of the achievements require speed chess. And A, not only am I terrible at speed chess, B, I'm terrible at speed chess on a chess rules that I'm, you know, not 100% effective on with.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an adjustment.
Especially since it often takes longer to call him on his cheats than it would just playing the game. So even if he cheats, you can't call him on it because it takes up too much time, and then you lose the speed chess bout.
Okay, so it's a practicality issue.
But hey, we have yet another person who's entered the chat that we can ask this question of.
Oh,
Hi,
geez.
Lugasar.
Hey,
All right. What
Ooh,
impulse
Lugasar
purchase
with big
did you
brains
have?
here.
wait, what?
Impulse purchase game from last year that you didn't plan on.
Oh, impulse purchase.
Just that random game you saw, you're just like, what is this? Okay. Click.
I
Why not?
as Baggins said, I'm X number of dollars interested.
That. I'm gonna have to do a little research for that one. I'm
Okay.
not sure. I feel like there's probably a few. Give me a minute or two.
Okay. Cool.
You could do mine real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Mine's
Sure.
I bought Rhythm Doctor. It's a little more than your average impulse purchase. I think it was like $14-15 when I got it.
Okay.
But I was between books. It was Christmas break, and I was bored out of my mind, and I needed a thing, and I had a Steam Deck, and I had some money to burn, and Rhythm Doctor was there. I think I had dropped a gameplay, but
I'll see if I can
pushed
find
up.
it.
Yeah, but basically, it's a a rhythm hell game, but it's or heaven. I don't know. I'm not sure how you distinguish the two.
Bullet heaven is when you're the one shooting the bullets. Bullet hell is when you're dodging the bullets.
Yeah, but it's rhythm.
This is rhythm, not bullet.
Yeah. So I
So-
I guess
Anyway.
I guess Rhythm Heaven is the one where you're the DJ. I don't know.
I don't know. The premise is like you're in this hospital and you're an intern and you have to help people with their heartbeats by like
wow.
delivering a shock in beat with all these various little songs, and
it takes the concept of how you're supposed to sing "Staying Alive" in your head if you're doing CPR, and it takes it to like crazy levels.
Sure, and with all the like terrible like healthcare implications that go with it as well.
So DDR and Trauma Center had a baby.
A little bit, but I mean, all it is you just have one action. You don't have the excising tumors and
is it this one?
and
Am I on the right thing?
antibiotics and all that kind of thing. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
It's got this fun kind of pixel art style that is very retro, and the songs are bops. I mean, like that's really something that is important. And there's actually like some interludes where you can like freestyle, and it reminded me a lot of Parappa the Rapper, man. Like that was
Yes.
where you
Cool.
actually could do better, just not necessarily going in time, but doing your own rhythm, but also making it work. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this, and that's how I knew I was hooked. Although I only have played it on the deck, and for some reason I don't break out the deck unless I'm traveling, and so when I'm at home, the deck sits in its case. So I haven't played it since Christmas, but it's fun.
Nice.
All right.
I've got another one.
Okay.
Are y'all at all familiar with Viva La Dirt League?
I have heard of
I've
it.
seen people play it on my Steam friends, but I don't know what that is.
It's not
No.
a game. It's a
Viva La
YouTube
Dirt
channel.
League is a YouTube channel.
Oh,
Okay.
the people who do the D&D content.
Yeah, they came out with a game last year that I didn't know anything about until I saw an announcement trailer that it was out that day.
What in
I
God's
was
name
like,
am I watching
oh.
here?
Oh, that's not what I thought it was.
So Viva La Dirt League is a group of guys or of people who they do skits. It started off with like basically one of the NPCs in a World of
I've
Warcraft
seen one of
game
these
that they
guys.
self-aware.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And there's one NPC in the game called Balin. He's a fisherman who walks by. His only line is "Nice day for fishing, ain't it?" And
Can't
they
confirm.
built a game around him where like one of the players or one of the characters did something that broke the game and set loose an eldritch god within the world. And the only person who was able to do anything, like suddenly all the PCs vanished, but this fisherman character suddenly developed an XP bar. And so he's the only one who can save them from it, as all the player characters have vanished. And it's just absolutely surreal, but it's utterly charming, especially if you watch if you watch their content, because they've developed a stable of these just memorable characters, and they all just sort of come together in the game. It's just like, again, it was one of those, I was just sort of scrolling on YouTube one day and it popped up in my feed. I was like, "Nice day for fishing. What is this?" And I clicked it and I'm like, is this, part of a sketch? And then I realized, no, this is a game they actually developed. And I was like, well, I mean, now I want to play it. And so
How much was it?
That's funny.
what is it now? I think it was like $15, maybe 20.
11.
See,
is
I
what
feel like
it's
$15
currently
is like the high end of the I'm $15 curious about.
It's
this.
currently
Because
50% off at $11.99.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I actually recognize these people. I think the first time I saw one of their YouTube videos was actually just like a month ago.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
posted a link to one that Baggins got me on how speedrunners look to NPCs, which is hilarious.
Yeah. It's, they have some amazing content, and they've branched out into, now they have a series of games that's just called Blank Logic, or not games, a series of series. They have various series. So they'll have like survival logic. They've been at this for several years now.
Yeah.
What was
yeah,
what was the one? What was the name of the
8
town?
or
Like
9 years ago.
it's like we don't go there anymore because it's
Bethesda?
Yeah, Thebesda, that's right. It's the glitched area of the game.
The
And
best.
it's like a nightmare. Like it's like if you ate all of the spiciest, horrible stuff for you right before going to bed. It's one of those nightmares.
No, they have some really good content. All right, Looney,
Back
did
to
you
Lunarsar.
find one?
Yeah, I found one. The thing is, I now realize what's kind of sad is of all the games that I bought in 2025, I don't think I've actually played any of them yet. But,
You played Expedition 33.
You're banking them. You're banking them.
that's true. I did play Expedition 33. That's one I bought in person because I was able to find a copy in person, and I did play that one in person. So, of the games I actually bought in 2025,
It doesn't have to be from 2025.
yeah, well, I don't think I've played any, but I did buy one and I'm interested to play it. It's called Little Rocket Lab.
Little Rocket Lab. I've not heard of that.
Yeah, it's
Like
an
a
indie
small
game.
version of the company, but okay.
So, largely because whenever I have an idea of a game I'd like to develop, if I made a game, I kind of look to see if someone's already made one like that, and this one is
Wise.
similar. So the idea of this game is he wanted to play Factorio and Stardew Valley at the same time, and so you have your little area in this small town, and you have people you can meet, but you're building a little factory instead of a farm in this town. So I haven't actually played it. I don't, but I did buy it because I saw something that mentioned it. And I'm like, oh, this looks like something that I would like and would possibly want to develop something like it. So I picked it up, but I haven't actually played it.
All right.
But I'm trying to think. Did I actually buy Dwarf Fortress last year? I think I did, actually. So, yes, okay. And I did buy and play Dwarf Fortress.
Speaking of
In
games that weren't from
2025.
2025.
Oh, dude, the majority of my gameplay was not during 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, games made...
Pre-GUI.
No, post-GUI. I bought the GUI. I did not play pre-GUI on Dwarf Fortress.
I only know it
ASCII art?
pre-GUI because that's what our roommate Tyler played.
Oh, he played it with just
Oh
ASCII?
yeah, that's totally a Harris game.
Yes, it is.
Oh man, all I know is I tried to turn it on because like in that release where you have the the graphical interface, you can turn it into classic mode. I tried just to see what it'd look like, and I mean yeah, I imagine you get used to it over time. It's like staring at the Matrix. I mean, I've played MUDs,
It's literally like staring at the Matrix.
Yeah, it literally is. But no, it had graphics and all that. But I did enjoy that.
Okay, I want to bring. So just to kind of move on a little bit
I'm
here.
trying to think. I mean, I bought. I think did Satisfactory have its full release in 2025, or was that the end of 2024?
It was 24. It was September of 24. But
September of 24. Okay.
But yeah, I brought it up already because that was like the game I played the most this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I brought up the fact that the game I played the most this year was the same game I played the most last year, Balatro. Anyway, so I want to bring up a game that has kept its relevance, even though I didn't play it that much, but I did play it because Kamizite brought it up. Marvel Rivals.
Oh, yes. I played a bunch of it at the end of 2024.
Wait, Marvel
Karina and
Overwatch?
Yeah, Marvel Overwatch. And Karina and I played it for a good portion into 2025 until, as usual with these games, the player base made it really unplayable and just gave up on it.
Yeah, it's just as the competition ramps up, it gets more and more meta, and yeah.
It wasn't even
And then they start.
competition.
And then they
Like,
start.
Oh, is it already unplayable like Overwatch?
Oh, it took
and
about
they
the same
start
amount of
balancing
time.
it according to how
Are we gonna
play
talk
it. And
about Overwatch, like digressing
Yes.
to make good on promises?
Oh
Yeah.
That's just a wild thing to me. My gosh.
Yeah.
It's not
'Cause
Overwatch
for
2.
those of-
What are you talking about? There was never an Overwatch 2.
There is no
for those of
Overwatch
you who
2
are
in
listening,
Bossing Say.
we had a conversation
Always been
offline
about the East Asia.
about redemption arcs, and I casually mentioned like, oh yeah, like Overwatch 2 became Overwatch 1 again. And Mitchell was like,
redemption.
what are you talking about? And he was like, I was like, oh yeah, like they just dropped the 2 from 1, and then all the promises they made for 2, they just remade again.
Penny Arcade had a brilliant joke about that, where they're just like, I can't believe after all that crap, fracturing their community, all the eternal strife, Overwatch is just dropping the 2. I, for one, am ready to pretend Overwatch 2 never existed. Technically, I was already doing that. Plus, they just dropped 5 new heroes. Mrs. Hat, We Have Strider at Home, Fancy Hots, Jetpack Cat, and Skywoman. I refuse to believe those are their actual names. One of them is real, and I'm not telling you which.
Wait. Okay, I just need to clarify. You're joking about dropping the 2, or did they actually?
No, they actually did that.
They
dropped
actually
the 2.
Like, that's 100%.
That's how wild this is.
Like, look, I understand that sounds like one of the things I make up again, like Spike
I know,
being a middleman for the Tooth Fairy, but it's not. Like, that's
No,
a
this
All I
happened.
know is right now I'm just having a deja vu of when they announced the Pokemon Garbodor or Garbodor, however you want to pronounce it. I thought it was a joke by some fan making fun of it, but no, it's real. Okay, so it's just Overwatch now, but is it still stupid 5v5?
No, they fixed that. They fixed that a while back. They
fixed
changed
that a while. Yeah, because
They moved it to 6 again?
Yeah.
Is it 6v6 again?
My
part
gosh.
of it was that Rivals ate into their market share so heavily that they had to backtrack, and then I guess finally this year with the these type of games eventually, like the player base will eat itself. They're like, hey, come back to us. Remember us? We're Overwatch, and we're just Overwatch again when there's no 2.
Yeah, and we're gonna release new characters again, and we're gonna have trailers again.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to start releasing media again.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Jeff,
Wow.
no sale, but nice try.
It's one of those like I ain't never going back to you guys, but good effort.
Good try, I guess.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
I'm impressed that you're
should
trying.
A for effort. Too little, too late. But we appreciate the effort there. But
I'm
it's gonna
intrigued.
take
I'm
a lot
intrigued
more
by
than that
let's
to win
try
us
to
back.
give the fans what they want as a strategy. It's an impressive strategy that seems to be working for indie companies. I'm glad to see that maybe the AAAs will start realizing that's a
that could be
thing.
That could be an episode in and of itself, because 2025 was the year of the AAA, you don't want to give us what I want? Okay, well, these guys over here are going to do that.
Well,
What are you talking?
speaking
Well,
of,
talking
I'll tell you
Turn-based-
exactly what I'm
turn-based combat.
talking about.
Uh-oh, it's Megabonk.
it's
That wasn't what I
Megabonk.
was talking about.
It's what I'm talking about. I didn't know I wanted this, and then I saw the gameplay by a streamer for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, "That's $10, huh?" And let's see, how many hours did I sink into this game?
Is
Live-
it a skating skeleton?
Yes.
Yes, his name is
I've
Cal.
heard you say Megabonk before, but I'm like, I have no idea what this is.
Sunglasses, right? Sunglasses.
Yes, his name is
It's basically
Calcium.
Vampire Survivors, but 3D.
Yeah, and it.
I see skeleton Tony Hawk. What are you talking about?
Well, so
No, the
each
game
character.
Vampire
So okay, this
Survivors.
is the thing I like about it, because
this
each
is
character.
clearly Tony Hawk.
Each character has a different trait, and this guy's trait is the longer you go without taking damage, the faster he moves. Well, one of the stats you can increase is get extra jumps. And so you start changing your character with this guy in particular. If you start getting extra jumps, you just start staying in air the entire time and become orbital bombardment man. And
Well, and there are things you can get that make it so you do more damage when you're in the air. So
yeah. Oh, wow. I am at almost exactly 100 hours on this game and at 99.2. And it's Everything's a meme. There's a character named Chad who literally has aura. That's his weapon.
Is he throwing bananas?
Yeah, bananas.
Yes,
That's one of the weapons you can get. The banana.
The yellow is
the banana rings.
That's all right. All right.
Yeah, it's the main character that comes from is Monkey, and Monkey can climb walls. That's his thing.
Monkey spelled Monkee.
Yes.
Reason.
Because poor spelling is cool.
This entire game is nothing but memes.
And it's like lolcats memes.
Oh yeah, the entire thing. Like whenever it's one of those things where if the gameplay is really addicting. It's not trying. It's one of those things. What you see is what you get. If this doesn't look interesting to you, I won't need to sell you on it because it's like it's fine. It's not going to be interesting to you. But I saw it and I'm like I want to play this.
I get that, but like that wasn't exactly what I was thinking of when I was thinking of a game that gave us what we wanted when a AAA company wouldn't. And Splice, you may want to throw some earmuffs on for this one because
that's cool. Send me a message when you guys are done.
Here we go.
My headphones are off
because we need to talk about Expedition 33, and
do I need to put out because I've only played Act 1.
We're keeping it spoiler-free.
We're keeping it spoiler-free, but I've played Act 1, and like
I need to leave.
The games.
If you can't keep it in, then yes.
Okay, so should I leave then? Because Act 2 and on, I need to leave.
Again, it depends if Breakfast can control himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk about that.
I'm not worried about spoilers, so I'm going to stick around. I'm only a little bit into Act 2, but like, look, I said this in the past when we've talked about it, and I will say it again. It is 100% in your lifetime the best French-themed RPG that you are ever going to come across. Now,
it is aggressively French.
It is
aggressively French.
I'm just curious, how many French RPGs have you played?
3.
It doesn't matter.
We don't have time for
Frenches them all.
but the soundtrack is amazing.
All the French games I played, it is one.
Gosh.
The
especially that second dungeon. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Like, the visuals,
so many banger tracks.
the art, all of it. Like it was such a breath of fresh air. And then you learn, oh yeah, these guys, they wanted to go do this at Ubisoft, and Ubisoft was like, no, give us another Assassin's Creed. And they just left and was like, well, we don't know how to make a game. Good luck, everyone. And they gave us this.
And it's more than just that, because they left and they hired the person who eventually wrote it as a free voice actor for them to put together a demo. She had never written before. She was talking to them. The story that they were working on fell through, and she was just like, I've had this idea kind of bouncing around in my head.
But do you know where they found their musician, their composer?
SoundCloud.
They found him on SoundCloud.
And they found the writer. They found the writer on.
I think it was a competitor to SoundCloud. Like it's something even smaller. It was wild.
It was SoundCloud. But the writer they found on Reddit. Again, they put out a call for, it's like, hey, we're working on a demo for this game. Is there anybody who'd be willing to do some free voice acting for us? We can't pay you, unfortunately. So that it'd be more for experience type thing. And she signed up. The story that they had been working on fell through, and this is what she gave them.
I mean, like, she made that studio. Like, this game made that studio.
Well, like that studio made that studio, because that's the thing, is every single bit of this game is a masterpiece.
100%.
The character design, the art, the voice acting, the
combat mechanics,
the story, the music, the
monsters.
Everything is just like, this is what we've been craving.
Like it really is. Like, you look at it and you play this game and like you get an hour into it and you're like, effort, honest to God, effort.
And the
It's
thing,
been so long since I actually played characters that I genuinely enjoy. Like there wasn't a
Yes.
single one of they all had traits that I found, mildly annoying, but not a single one of them were like insufferable.
but like the
I liked
mildly
them
annoying
all.
traits made them
Characters. Yes.
And
And they were people. Good grief.
And
It's
the
been
thing
so
that's
long.
fascinating is that Squaresoft for years had been responding, "Oh no, people don't want turn-based combat anymore. They just really
and
like it."
Squaresoft. I mean, they've been pushing me away because of it too.
But then like this game came out, took everything by storm, and I think either 1 or 2 months after the game came out, you could tell Square took notice because they had Sandfall to the Square offices for a conversation. We don't know exactly what happened, but
Now here's something
They
that's
had
kind of
said in
strange to
some
me.
interview. They said in some interview, like, yeah, I mean, that looks like the
Yeah.
future of what we should be making in games, and everyone's like, really?
so the
Wait,
future
that's
looks
what-
like the past that you abandoned.
But now, though, the question that brings up is how come Atlas didn't have that effect on SquareSoft, but this game did?
Because it was such a runaway. I mean, like, it was such a runaway fanatic. I mean, like, Atlas was great. Don't get me
But,
wrong.
I mean,
I'm not-
Persona 5. I mean, come on. This Persona 5 was just as big as this, if not bigger.
What?
I
100%.
wouldn't say that.
I would.
How
No,
many Game of the
I
Year
would.
awards did
100%
Persona 5
I
take?
would.
Win.
But this is more. But this is more in their wheelhouse than what.
You're
Atlas
right.
was doing.
Pretentious pricks still like this game, and not just that. You make a point there.
I think they
Real
had to. I
gamers
think
liked
they
it,
didn't have
and
the-
pretentious pricks still liked it. So good point.
Oh my gosh.
Not
I'm
just
sorry,
weeps.
Game Awards
I knew-
means jack crap to me. So don't
I
bring
knew
that
that.
up.
I knew that would.
I'm not
set you
saying
off.
I'm not saying Game Awards, but the fact I understand what you're saying, but the scale of it, the fact that it is now the record holder for most awards won, period, it says something. Whether you agree with it or with the awards or not, the fact that that happened means something.
And like you could also say, like everything that we've just said, yes, absolutely, 100%. But on top of all of that, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, you get to the end of Act 1 and they break your heart. And everyone who's gotten to the end of Act 1 knows exactly what I'm talking about.
They
And
break
it
it
was just like-
in prologue.
They break your heart in the prologue. And
I
you
was
think
crying at the prologue.
Okay,
you get to
I
the
am
end of
not.
Act 1 and it's just like I literally texted my friend and being vague, like my bestie, and I was like, did what just happen actually just happen? Like, is this like an actual real thing? It's like, oh, congratulations to the misery that everyone else that was playing that finished Act 1 got to. Yes, it actually happened, but it's okay. I was like,
This is all I'm gonna say. Keep playing.
yes, no, I did, but it was one of
Well,
those.
he's telling me because I haven't kept playing since that.
No,
moment.
I'm telling all of you, keep playing. You haven't
I
finished.
did keep playing. I didn't stop playing. That game consumed my entire month of July.
I knew it would. There's a reason I bought it for you.
Like, didn't you?
And half of August.
Didn't you? How many times did you buy this game, Baggins?
I have bought this game 5 times.
Like, that is insane. But
I will
also,
do it 5 times.
but like again, this
And
is
you know what? I would buy it again.
I believe you, and this game is worth. This
I'll
is
let
one
you
of
know
the
when it
few,
comes out on GOG.
All right.
This is
we'll
one of
talk.
the few games.
No, you can buy it for yourself a second time.
No. This is for your permanent record, so you can buy. You can make an offline installer.
That's
Regardless,
anyway.
this is what you get for genuine effort.
Passion.
You know, we have to get Splice back here at some point, but like, you know, we've all gushed about this game at some point in last year, sometimes in this very podcast itself. But I mean, like, this is indicative of what last year was, because it was a bunch of like indie studios coming out
Yes.
with bangers. And what's happening right now? Ubisoft is damn near bankrupt. Blizzard is doing everything they can to stop hemorrhaging money. Activision is like running for the hills. Bungie is hemorrhaging players from Destiny. Like all
EA
of the
seems
AAAs,
to be trying at least. I've noticed that.
They're
good
trying
for them, I guess.
but yeah.
I haven't bought an EA game since Origins
I'm
reveal.
like trying to think of what EA is doing right now. I'm like,
Battlefield
Madden?
6 was very well received.
Okay, I guess I don't know. I
What are the
don't
games
get
you
into the
put-
modern warfare stuff.
Oh, no, what it was? Yeah, never mind. I was thinking. Yeah,
But you know, to put a button
They
on
also
this, and
did
then-
well by the Command and Conquer collections that they've put out. Have all been very well done.
Well, let's put a button on this and I mean, this is very obviously it was the game of the year as far as as the gaming community was concerned in awards and stuff like that. I'd go so far to say is that this was the game of the year for me, even though I didn't get out of Act 1, just because it was like, all right, I paid full price for this game, and I don't pay full price for games anymore. So
this is battling for my favorite game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is that good. I mean, I will say the biggest thing that drew me to it. I mean, I remember actually when they had the first announcement trailer for it, and I was just like, that is so different. Mm-hmm. It was such a breath of fresh air. I mean, like a lot of games look kind of samey, but this had a distinct visual style. It was not afraid to be French and weird and melancholy in its way.
Work against it.
And it
wonderful in ways.
I went in completely blind. Like, I didn't even see a trailer for this.
I even went in blind because I made a promise to bag it.
Yes, you did.
I hyped myself up a bit, but then I kind of wanted to see how everyone else is treating it.
I never saw a trailer for this. I just heard from enough people that I trust that I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Well, we probably need to get Splice back in here, so so that we can get him back in here before, so that we're not talking about something that he is. Back and talk about See You Couldn't.
So speaking of battling for my favorite, let Looney.
Well, I was going to say one thing that I do find very interesting about Expedition 33 that makes it distinct from other RPGs is it very much can it doesn't completely rely on your character's stats, on your abilities of what you can do.
Yes.
Like
if you're good enough,
if you know how to get good, because like a lot of people complain about RPGs. What I don't like about RPGs is it's not just
the power
about get
level.
good. It's purely, I mean, RPGs come down to two things: strategy and resource management.
Mm-hmm.
And this game says, well, we kind of want to throw skill in there too.
Yeah.
And
the other.
Yeah, and so it's like if you want to take on the completely overpowered enemy. Well, I mean the way I'm playing it, I haven't every level up you get stat points that you can allocate. I haven't allocated a stat point in a long time because I think I'd be overpowered if I did, so I don't. To force myself to get good.
Yeah. The other thing that I will say, I have since beating this game, I have watched at least 6 streamers play through the entire thing. Just because I want to see other people playing it. I have not, just because I'm not ready to go back. Because it is an emotional
your life again.
Gut punch.
I will admit that is one thing that has kind of made me slow down on this, is because the Greek theater, there's everything could be either a comedy or a tragedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very clear which one this is. It's and it's not I'm very much a comedy person when it comes to plot lines, so I know this one is not one of those.
When the director of the game in an interview said, "I hate happy endings."
Yeah, that's a pretty good clue.
Yep.
Also, how French of you.
Also,
very, very French.
Well, and the other thing is I mean, as you told me as well, it's like one of his all-time favorite games. I'm like, let me guess, it's going to be one of my least favorite Final Fantasies. Yeah, sure enough, it is. It's 10. Friggin' egg.
But the thing is, you can see the clear influences of 10 in it.
Oh, I absolutely can. 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Particularly
All right,
in one of the
to...
areas you referenced. Yeah, let's
So
bring
when
it in.
when does Gustav meet Sora?
But you know what? You know why I do you know why I haven't played Act 2? Because
No.
Because I got distracted by a different game. A game
what game
that
is that?
sucked me in way
I'm
harder
back.
than Expedition 33 did. And that is Metaphor ReFantasio.
That's on my list.
Oh my gosh.
Looney, I held up to let you finish your story. Okay, anyway.
Wait, what?
What?
I was about to talk about Suikoden, but then you were talking.
Oh,
and I said,
fair
hold
enough,
up.
fair enough. You know what? You can go to Suikoden.
Just both of you fight it out. Bare knuckle boxing to see who talks about their subject right now. Winner gets slice.
Now I'm jumping in. So anyway, just because there's a segue, like I said, Expedition 33 is fighting for my spot for favorite game. They re-released my favorite game of all time this year as well, and so I went back to play both the first and second game in the series, and that's Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2. And they did, in my opinion, this is how you do an HD remaster properly, because they didn't go in and change a whole bunch of stuff. They took what is there and they just made it look better. Now there is a lot of argument about whether some of the portraits in the first game look better because they got a different artist and some of them just don't match. But the second game, it's like, oh, this is just the game that I loved, but more of it and easy to. Now I have it on Steam, so now I don't have to worry about, do I have a system that can play it? That is my favorite thing about this, is that I can just, I have it on my Steam Deck and I have it on Steam.
And now you can mod it.
And it is moddable. I have no desire to mod it because, like I said, favorite game, but it is possible. And if that's what you want to do, go for it. But yeah, this is my favorite classic JRPG easily. And I'm really hoping that they do a collection of 3, 4, and 5 next.
What are the odds of it?
There was 5 of them?
Very, very good. I mean, this was a series that had previously been kind of dead, and then the original creator of the series, who had left Konami, did a Kickstarter that was like a massive. It's one of the most successful Kickstarters, like video game Kickstarters there's been, and one of, not the, but Konami took note. And shortly after announced that they were doing this remaster. And for a long time, people,
Citizen, right?
For a long time, people thought that they were just kind of, trying to take some attention and on all other stuff. But it did come out and they did a good job. And so it's just one of those absolute utter surprises. But as part of the announcement, they announced a lot of things that were coming along with it. There's an anime that they're doing in Japan based on it that is being done by Konami Animation Studios. There's a stage play that they're doing in Japan. And It's just one of those things, like, they're investing in this series that hasn't had anything come out in about 20 years.
Nostalgia's a powerful drug.
That's cool. So, man, do you think they'd be able to make a 6th one without the original creator there?
I'm terrified because, that's the thing. The original creator, left Konami, but he also died about a week before the game that they kickstarted came out.
Oh yeah, forgot
So
that.
he passed away early. I think that was last year.
Didn't Konami also loot? Like, Konami's lost several of them. They lost the Castlevania guy. They lost the Solid Snake guy. They lost the Suikoden guy.
And so it's one of those things.
Well, I thought they stopped doing games for a minute.
Well,
they
had
focused on
Pachinko.
what are they? Pachinko games.
Yeah.
But they've started to do games again. At least they're re-releasing all their collections.
They started realizing,
the Willy Wonka, the factory started up again.
It's imagine that if we just actually every once in a while re-release something people like, because that's the thing, we're not even asking for that much. It's just like, I just want to be able to play it on the current system. You can resell it at a cheap price, not have to put a lot into it. And they're like, what if we just did that?
Mm-hmm. I need to buy the Contra collection.
But the thing is, like, I'm not sure if they can do a new one properly, but I'm just glad that they've remastered and released the first and second one. The second one is impossible to get a copy of these days. I do have one, but it's a rare one because it wasn't expected. They didn't print a lot, and then because they didn't really market it, not expecting it to be big, they didn't buy a lot, and so they didn't print more, and so then it took off, and so a lot of people want it, and there's not a lot of copies. But now people can play it, and so I'm hoping they do the same for 3, 4, and 5, though.
If there's money in it, they'll do it.
Yep. Anyway, Looney, you were...
Yeah, no, that gave me time to actually find a Let's Play so I could bring up the video. So, no, that was perfect. That was perfect. But, yeah, like I said, for me, I stopped playing Metaphor ReFantazio because I started playing this game. So I just kind of felt like I needed a break after the end of Act 1, which I think most people can understand. And I have completely fallen in love with this game, Metaphor ReFantazio. It's made by the Persona team, right? It's the creators, the Persona creator, who did the director for Persona 3, 4, and 5, and it's the same group of people. But he was sick of doing the modern setting. He was sick of Shin Megami Tensei. I guess he wanted to do his own fantasy setting, and so he came up with Metaphor ReFantazio, and I absolutely love it because I don't know. There's something about just having high fantasy. Now, what's kind of interesting in this game is they wanted to kind of play with the concept of fantasy. So the main character, he's been inspired by a fantasy book that he reads, and the fantasy book is describing our world. So in this game, to them a fantasy setting is what, kind of a more sci-fi-ish setting of our world where, look,
skyscrapers and cars.
Skyscrapers and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a pretty cool concept that, there's this harsh, monarchical system, and they kind of are, they're pining for something more along the lines of what we have in the modern day. And that's kind of what they're fighting towards. But the plot line is the king has been assassinated, and there's no heir to the throne because his son had previously had an assassination attempt on him, and he's, been in a coma for years, and the king just got assassinated, and so now this whole country's in turmoil, and you go on a quest to try and, find a way to save the prince who should be the heir, and it just opens up this, awesome epic fantasy done in a Persona style where there's, magic and dragons and monsters and lots of different, races, because it's not like there's not humans. They're all, the different tribes, whether they be, ones with horns that are called the Clamar, the ones with giant elf ears are the Rusant. Like, they're all just unique, different, there's, like the main character, he's an Elden, which has different eye colors. I don't know. It's kind of like the closest to what we think of as a human in there, but there's, I don't know. It's just, everything about this game is just so cool. The art style's kind of got this storybook look to it. So it's kind of like a fantasy storybook version of Persona. And it kind of delves into a lot of topics of, it's very political because it's trying to, fill this void of the king being assassinated, and I guess the storyline, the king has, a contingency plan to where there's a way to, how the throne shall be succeeded in his absence that, through magic. And I don't know, it's really cool. I love it. And I love how it, has the language in it. I don't know. I always love it when games don't use modern swear words. I hate modern swear words. Like, that's also part of the reason why, like, Expedition 33 kind of turns me off.
French.
To see a bunch of French person throwing around the F-bomb left and right kind of irks me a little bit. But to hear, fie and zounds and all those old-timey medieval curses.
To be fair, they curse in French, too.
Yeah. They use French swear words.
Oh, yes, they do. That they very much do. Which I can actually still understand because I speak Spanish and it's close enough. So, yeah.
Dank ferret.
But yeah, if you want a fantasy Persona, Metaphor ReFantasio is where to go. And I am absolutely loving it. And one thing that's different from the other Persona is the way you can customize your characters is way more than any of the Persona games. So like in Persona, usually you can only change out like what persona you're equipped with on the main character. But in this game, your entire party you can equip and swap out outside of battle what persona they're using. And it's awesome. And they're called archetypes in this one, not persona, but it's still the same concept.
Very different.
But I love this game. It's great.
All right. There's one more game that I feel like we need to talk about in terms of kind of keeping this theme up. Baggins, do you want to take away on Blueprints?
Okay. Has anybody else played Blueprints?
Heard of it, but I haven't.
I've heard of it, but yeah.
I know what blueprints are.
And it's a play. It actually is a play on words. Blueprints is it's an indie game that was done, almost entirely by one guy. I think he contracted out a couple bits of it, but the best way I have to describe it is it's Myst meets Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Okay.
So if are you familiar with, are any of y'all familiar with both of those games?
I'm not familiar with the second game. I remember putting my head through a screen because of Myst.
I actually have played the second game more than I've ever played the first one.
Betrayal at House on the Hill is a board game, actually, where you've got a bunch of people who go into this.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, I've played
it's a
that
fun game.
Okay. Take that. So Myst, it's a point and click adventure with all kinds of very deep immersive puzzles that can get frustrating. So in this, the premise of it is that you're a young man whose great uncle has just passed away and bequeathed his entire estate to you. But there is one stipulation, and that is that you find room 46 of his 45-room estate. And it follows an interesting mechanic, because as you go through, your job is to go through the house, finding clues and figuring out ways to open doors and make your way through the house. And there are, different rooms show up. Like, for example, you'll find a security room that you can access, and there will be security doors that show up later. You can set it so that if the power goes out, those security doors are all unlocked. Or you can find a key card and you can set the security level so that the security doors, there will be more of them later on. Because every time you go through a door, you're given a choice of 3 different rooms. And you choose which room it is, and it lays out the house. And so every day you go in, the house is different. But there are rules, like you're only allowed to take a certain number of steps each day, where a step is going from one room to another. Some of the doors are locked. You're not allowed to take anything you find out of the house with you. You're not allowed to bring anything else in with you. And as you go through, there's like a deeper story behind the house that you just kind of start picking up as you read things. There's notes around, and there's items that you can pick up that might help you, like, you might find a set of lock picks that helps you get through locked doors. You might find, some rooms each will give a benefit. Like the bedroom, every time you walk into it, it gives you 2 more steps, which basically means it's free to go through the bedroom because you lose one as you go in and gain 2, and then as you leave, you lose your second one. So the math equals out to 0. So there's all sorts of things going on. The atmosphere is wonderful, and it's just a great game. But like I said, the play on word, it's blue prince, as in the son of a king, but blueprints. Each room that you find is a blueprint for that room. But yeah, if you enjoyed Myst, it's easily worth checking out.
I just remember you with the red string that you had around your.
You're talking about. So that's the thing. When you play this game, you are going to want to take notes because there's just so much going on. And at the end of it, you are going to have a serial killer notebook. It is going to look like the scribblings of a madman.
Oh, okay. I've heard you say that sentence before. So this is the game.
This is the game.
Yeah. It's funny with Myst, I actually enjoyed the books so much more than the games. The books were fantastic. Did you read them?
I never did.
Oh, they're great. They're great.
All I remember with Myst is that my dad brought it home because he said it won awards. We put the CD in. We tried to play it. Neither one of us knew what a point-and-click adventure were because that just wasn't a game that we'd ever done. And we're just like, I don't get it. And just after about 2 hours of us staring at the screen, because it was revolutionary graphics-wise, we just quit because we had no clue what was going on.
That's funny.
But just looking through notes, I'm just like, Uncle's letter stamp, ship Morajai, the White Sea of Yore. Terminal password, commissary closed from day 12 to day 16. And it's just like, what is this? And so if anybody
they're
found
not just trying to get the FBI to rummage through your stuff.
If anybody
That's why he wrote it down
notebook,
and did
he
not
might
type
have
it down. All right. Well,
the other thing that I like about it is that there are so many puzzles in it that it doesn't even tell you are puzzles. And then you're wandering around, you're like, oh my gosh, this is significant. I'm noticing patterns here, and it doesn't spoon feed you anything.
So yeah, I guess that's cool. Let's see.
All right.
So
well,
we don't play games on Steam.
We don't have a lot of time left, so there's one game I want to cover.
I mean, we already talked about them, but Satisfactory, then Dwarf Fortress. But my number 3 is actually one I played with you most of the time.
That's what was going to cover.
Yeah,
Peak.
That's my number 3.
We're going to end with Peak because I think Peak is the perfect example of.
It's Peak.
Of modern game, like what this entire
multiplayer.
What I like people calling it friend slop just as a concept because it's gonna be hilarious when AAA tries to move in on this because
oh my gosh.
Greetings, fellow kids.
That is gonna be the most entertaining train wreck to watch.
Oh, it is.
Oh
I can't wait. I can't wait for the wave of AAA
clone.
Yeah, I can't wait for the wave of AAA friend slop that'll come out in 2028.
Can you imagine this game designed by committee?
What? Highguard already released.
Oh.
Too soon.
Okay, sorry. Just quick aside to Highguard. Well,
the fact that Highguard is clearly Overwatch. It's even in the name.
Yes,
Highguard,
exactly. When that got pointed out, I'm like, wait a second. They're absolutely right. Anyway, the thing that makes these games work: one, super low purchase point, so that it's easy to get people do the. To quote Baggins again, I'm $5 interested. 2, they are made quick. These aren't over these, there's no committee. We threw it together. It kind of works. It's jank, but the jank is kind of a design, and you just roll with it because you paid $5 for it, and it's just meant to be fun.
Isn't that kind of where Among Us came from?
Yes, 100%.
And now it's like this massive franchise.
Yeah, which Among Us is interesting because it actually released, I think, like a year and a half before it busted out, but then COVID hit and suddenly it was at the right spot at the right time.
Yep.
Animal Crossing style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was trying to think, was Among Us before or after Henry Stickmin?
Oh, Henry Stickmin's
been
around since the early 2000s.
Because like that's like OG Newgrounds stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, then yes.
Yeah, okay, so Henry Stickmin was before they made Among Us. There we go.
But
Now,
the thing is,
Mafia's been around since before Henry Stickmin, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, the game it's based on. Yeah, of course.
the other thing is, because a lot of the AAA companies are terrified of voice chat because people on the internet say things.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so they want to avoid it as much as possible, whereas these games just kind of embrace it.
Windows, that's the important thing.
I'm kind of agree. I mean, the thing is, I agree with the philosophy of voice chat, but that's why I feel like one of the strengths of Among Us was they said you can only play this game with people in your friends list, period. That solves so many problems. You're not playing with strangers when you play this game.
Yeah, but then it doesn't
You're only
scale
playing with
properly,
friends.
and I want to be able to make absolute sure that we maximize, and thus we get into the problem with AAA. But Peak is just a wonderful example of we're going to use lazy procedural generation, but we've tested it to where you never run into a situation where you can't win. And
Most
we're
of
just
the time.
yeah, most
Yeah, mostly, yes.
yeah, but there's some weird edge cases.
But most importantly, it's just fun. And it's not trying to be anything more than it is.
Yeah.
And it's not claiming to be anything more than it is.
It doesn't have the competitive nonsense that like plagues a lot of these games.
And it's not charging you for more than it is.
Yeah. And that's just the biggest thing is that you see all these articles from like gaming journals. It's like, oh, gaming's now cheaper than it was inflation related. And it's like, even ignoring the fact that I don't agree with that because there's all sorts of other confounding factors that they're not factoring in. The biggest thing is the fact that I don't feel like I was getting the value out of the game. And so what are a lot of these games doing? They're lowering the price. And what does that do? That makes the game more accessible to more people, which then maximizes the ability for people to play it. And look at that. Suddenly, like the gamers have kind of spoken that I can't remember. I got to go find it. Someone did an in-deep dive on like the most, the highest revenue games. And almost
rather than telling you a true fan would make it happen.
Yes, well, thank you, Randy. But the thing that was interesting was all the highest revenue games were under $40. And like and that's not like that it was revenue, not sales, cuz like obviously it's sales.
Is this last year?
Yeah, last year. And almost all of them were $40 or cheaper.
You know, the funny thing is it just makes me think of like all the arguments I've gotten into over the past decade with GameStop managers that keep trying to tell me that, oh no, because of inflation and everything getting more expensive to develop, the game prices need to go up. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Everything's going the other way. There's better tools. We have faster computers that can have better engines and all this, and there's more assets available, and it's like it's easier to develop a game than it ever has been ever. And the manufacturing costs, we're not making cartridges, we're making discs, or they're being shipped digitally over the internet. This is the lowest cost game development has ever needed to be well, game cost
needed
development's
to
gone up.
be
I'm like, well, that's because
the
they
keyword there.
mismanage it. Yeah, exactly. It's like for every reason to make a game, and that's why are we seeing the success of these cheaply made AA games? Yeah, this is exactly why. And
Legendary
sure
drops.
enough, like you said,
He just
the better
dropped
in most revenue games under 40, like you said.
Yeah, well, so Legendary Drops just had a video where he apparently had talked to some people who are working at Ubisoft, and they were talking about management, and he's like, "How many layers of management are there?" And they said there's about 7 to 10 layers of management.
Gosh, that's ridiculous.
And it's like, and that's the problem right now with AAA is if we were paying for the development of a game, like look. The game series isn't for me, but Grand Theft Auto 6 could probably release at $100, and there is so much they're putting into the game that they can probably get away with it, and people will feel like they got their money's worth. I've definitely have certain games that $100 I still would have gotten my money's worth out of. Now I probably wouldn't have bought it in the first place, but you know, but it's just one of those things. 7 layers of management.
I am shocked because I'm just thinking, my career has been in big Fortune 500 tech companies make the design hardware, right?
Yes.
I think they're like 5 layers of management. So 7 for a video game company? I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, and so, but you
My
see,
dad showed me a chart.
Ridiculous.
My dad showed me a chart once. It's about the life of every corporation. And it starts, there are 2 circles. The first circle, the outer circle, denotes administration, and the inner circle denotes productivity. And when a company first starts, the outer circle is very thin, and the inner circle takes up the majority of the company's, effectiveness. But as the company gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the outer circle gets thicker, and the inner circle starts to shrink. And then when a company is in collapse, when the outer circle is just absolutely massive and there's barely an inner circle left. And I feel like there's a lot of honesty in that.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing. You look at this game, they made it in like in 3 months, I want to say. It was something tiny, and it's because they just said, let's just do this. Let's just have fun and, make a thing. And they can afford to do that because there's just a few of them, and it's just like, oh, okay, no problem. No skin off our nose, and now it pays for itself. And you can now sit there and, put more stuff into it, because it's like, wow, we have so much goodwill that people keep coming back to this game. When we make an update, we got a few more sales, we can probably justify it, and it's just a nice virtuous cycle. And it's all because they made the customer happy. And that's all you got to do. Make the customer happy, you make money. I know it's revolutionary.
Okay. Does anyone else cringing at that use of the chain launcher right there?
Yet Steam seems to be the only company that gets that.
Yeah, well, look. It's but that goes back to the whole what Looney said about the circles, because Steam has 3 layers to the corporate structure, and the third
was the one talking about circles.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I said the wrong person. Yeah, but the third layer is just Gabe. He's the only one at that third circle. And so,
well, also to your point, one of the biggest problems with those articles that you're talking about and those people you're talking about is these are the same people who write articles like technology hoarding is costing the cell phone industry so much a year. It's like, technology hoarding. You mean the fact that I wait 5 years before I get a new cell phone?
Yes.
It's that mindset.
No, you're right. It's the same people that are like, oh, this generation's killing napkins because they just buy paper towels instead. It's like, this is an article? Really?
This generation is killing the diamond industry because they're not buying diamond rings when they get married. It's like, who can afford that, man? Have you seen groceries lately?
Well, and that's
Like,
the more thing.
it's
They
just-
are killing the industry. It's like, okay, how about the industry has to make us want to buy it?
Yeah, like
Exactly.
it's not our job to keep the industry alive. It's yours.
Exactly. It's weird because like the word entitlement gets thrown around a lot, and to me it's so shocking when companies feel entitled to your purchases, and I'm like, but it's your job to make people want to buy your product, not the other way around. What are you?
It's not fair that you don't want to buy my product because of X, Y, and Z. It's because of my politics. It's because of my whoa. Like, look, I can choose not to buy your product for any reason. That can range from I don't have the money for it right now to your product doesn't interest me. It doesn't matter.
Or
And again,
I may
that's-
be interested in your product if it wasn't hot garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Which seems like it's really been the theme of this entire podcast. Because while we've had some old favorites, as we've been talking about here, and there's been a few things that we've come up with. Most of the things on this list were things that were done by indie studios that we enjoyed and wouldn't have gotten made by major studios. Major studios screwed up and then had to go back and do it, or they put on extreme sale, and that's the only way people bought it because that's what they were worth for it. Like
Yeah.
almost
Or
everything on here.
I'm trying
I
to
bought
think
on
like
sale.
the only one I gushed about. It is a AAA, but it's a smaller AAA studio that's well known, and it's the studio that owns it has specifically said, we are going to be as hands off on you guys as possible because you guys know what you're doing, and we'll just screw it up.
That's what you do. If you acquire a team that is doing amazing work,
Like, I was so nervous when Sega bought Atlas, but once Sega made it very clear to Atlas, you make your games, we're just going to take
Atlas,
your
go
IP.
make us money.
We're
You-
just
yeah.
going to go make pachinko machines and spin-offs of your games, but we're going to leave you to make your games because you know what you're doing.
yeah, you go make a bunch of money and give a bunch of it to us.
Yeah,
We're
that's-
just... yeah, we're just going to pimp out your
here's
IP.
money to make your game. We would like some return on our investment. No notes. And
Yeah.
wow, we are over a little bit, aren't we, Splice?
Just a little bit. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just I'm trying to remember what it was. I think this might have been the first Legendary Drops video I watched, but it was just about an article that was basically talking about the legitimacy crisis or something like that, where basically it was saying the effect of the article was like, won't somebody think of the middle managers?
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like Expedition 33 is a problem because, think of all the, the middle management people that don't get in on it because it's such a small company, and it's just like, what? And yeah, like these, the big advantage of these smaller companies is how close they are to the customer. Like it just in a real sense, and they can respond quickly they're nimble. And it's the thing that's interesting if you look at like the history of that person stepped on something. If you look at the history of like animals and extinction events, and giant animals can only exist in very specific environments that make for those conditions, but as soon as the environments change, they die out real quick. And I think we're seeing that on a corporate level, that these companies are just not nimble enough to take advantage of changes in consumer behavior.
Well, and another thing that you were talking about was, with the concept of the middle management, but there's also kind of the attitude that comes with that. Because when you think about it, the way it works in most kind of more corporate environments is when you're new, you may have a lot of ideas, but you're in the trenches and you are just making someone else's vision, right? Like they tell you what to do, and you have to pay your dues, so to speak, climb the ladder till you get to a point where you can start making some decisions. But by the time you're making decisions, you're no longer in the creative process, other than you have the big idea, but other people are implementing it. And so in a way, in these big companies, you have this separation between the people generating the ideas and the people that are actually creating it.
Got to keep them separated.
It's completely separate, and
I thought Offspring was overrated.
Of inhibits.
Is that an Offspring reference?
It is. Absolutely is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you separate creation from ideas, and that is just a huge hamper on innovation and creativity, but that's just the way that structure is built. Because, by the time you can make an idea, you're no longer the one making it. You paid your dues. You don't want to be working on it anymore.
Well, and there's also the corporate attitude in general. You take CP Project Red and their missteps with Cyberpunk. They were like, "Hey, this is on us. We did a bunch of stuff wrong. We should have just delayed it. We're gonna get you something better. Just bear with us." And No Man's Sky did the same thing. And then you have Randy Pitchfork, who's sitting here saying, "Well, if you're a real fan, you'll pay the $100.
You'll make it happen.
Play the game if you're a real fan."
And the thing is, all that it does is dare them to not be a fan.
Yeah.
And it's just you don't want to do that.
And you know what? I will take that dare every single time. It's I dare you not to be a fan. All right, cool. There's other stuff out here.
Well, and companies have been taken for granted. They're like, "Oh, these people have been fans of this product, their entire lives. They're not going to give it up now." No, they will. I'm no longer a fan of Final Fantasy. I'm no longer a fan of Squaresoft. I'm no longer a fan of Star Wars.
Nintendo has priced me out of their market.
There are so many things
100%.
that I have been lifelong fans of that I don't care about anymore.
Yeah, you bought the right to make more of this thing that I currently love. You didn't buy me.
Yeah, you don't get me forever. And maybe that's a little bit of cynical, but look, if I'm going to keep paying you money, this is a what are you doing for me lately? Not what you've done for me proposition. I need value out of my money, or that money needs to go elsewhere.
So anyway, peak.
Peak.
But that's the peak is
value for your money.
It is the absolute symptom. Look at this. Is this high level graphics? Are we worried about getting the bubbles correct in the beer can? No. This thing could run on an N64 if you lowered the polygon count a bit. It was something that came out recently about Grand Theft Auto 6 where the developers were talking about how, we realized we were wasting some time when we were trying to figure out how to get carbonation correct in beer. And then we're like, is anyone going to notice this? And
I'm sure the people with the highest graphic cards who've dropped $5 to $10,000 on their machines might.
Yeah. But the thing is, they'll notice it for 20 seconds.
Yeah,
and then they'll move on. That's not good value for your work.
Well, and if you throw in a cost of a crystal chalice.
Second time you've referenced that Petty Arcade comic.
It's funny. It's how in a game when they make really cool character designs, you want to have I'm gonna use this background image. I'm gonna have the wallpaper on my computer screen be this character because I think it looks so cool, and look at the pose they're in, right? That level of effort put into a beer can, or a bottle of beer. You really think someone's gonna be like, wow, they did such a good job that I'm going to take a screenshot and make that my background image for my wallpaper on my desktop? No, of course not.
But this is the thing, because I can't remember who it was. It was some reviewer. And they were just talking about Balatro, and they said it's trying to explain why this game is so addicting is difficult, because the answer is the gameplay is just really good. And he's like, and saying the gameplay is really good is one of the laziest but most accurate things you can say about any game. It feels good, it feels bad, and there's no way to explain it. But this is the actual problem. Why do these guys spend so much time trying to get realism correct. I think the answer is because the suits and middle management who don't understand gaming, you can't explain gameplay to them. But graphics is something they can wrap their head around because that's something they can see.
It's quantifiable.
Yeah.
You actually just reminded me of a funny D&D story that's kind of along these lines, which I'll drop here real quick. So is everyone familiar with the programs? I believe it was called Sigil.
No.
It's basically like in D&D terms, it's basically like the big
Sigil, like in Planescape.
Yes. Yeah. As in Planescape.
Yeah. Planescape Torment. If you play Planescape Torment,
they came out
where the game takes place.
They came out with a program called Sigil, and the idea was that this was going to be like the official 3D environment of D&D, and like never mind the fact that they're 5 to 6 years behind the curve on digital mapping places. D&D Beyond already has a 2D digital map that works all right, but like and as far as 3Ds are concerned, they're 3 years behind.
Got it.
Right, it's just named after it. But like the whole thing was like, oh well, here's your characters, and you can create your characters, but you're going to have to buy packs to get the stuff to get your characters. The reason why it was like that and they pushed it so hard was because they went to Hasbro and they're like, hey, we've got this idea, and they're like, all right, well, we don't really get it. It's like, well, they've got the figurines and they can paint it and they can customize it. It's like, yeah, we really don't get it. And somebody was like, well, this is like a digital toy kind of thing. And they're like, oh, digital toy. So like this is something that like eventually when you develop it, we could like sell you digital Transformers and Barbies and My Little Ponies that they don't actually physically have, but we still sell it to them at the same price. And they're like, yes, I guess, if that gets you to say yes to our thing. And so while it was starting out as a D&D 3D map, it was eventually supposed to become a 3D toy distribution program. And then it crashed, and like they launched it, it barely worked. Like I think the program itself for just 3D map making D&D had more demanding minimum specs than Baldur's Gate 3. And
wow.
And within 3 months, they had laid off 97% of the people. They literally just had 3 people, like 2 or 3 people left to just try and deliver on the things that were promised because they had sold digital goods that hadn't been made yet. And then finally, about 3 months after that, like, this ain't working. You're just going to get a full refund. But I mean, that's the kind of greed we're talking about here. Somebody's like sitting there, it's like, oh, here's a thing that could be cool, even though we're behind the times. And
here's the thing,
I could turn it into something else.
I could
How many
not
TF2
forgive
killers has TF2 survived?
Yeah, I could understand.
Oh my gosh,
I could understand the greed. Like I am not afraid of greed. I'm practically a Ferengi. What I can't forgive is the incompetence. It's the fact that it's to a hammer everything looks like a nail, and they are leading companies that they don't understand their customers. It's the Harvard MBA schoolification of every single business where they try to moneyball everything, and it's like, no, some things are not like that. Quit trying to fit every square peg into the round hole.
Well, look at AMD. AMD was in the pits when they had an accountant for a CEO. Now they have an engineer for a CEO, and hey, they're doing well again. It's... Yeah, no, I agree 100%. The whole people who don't understand their business being in charge of a business.
Which is the coast. They alienated a great deal of their fans with their decisions on Magic the Gathering and on Dungeons and Dragons, to the point that the people that were driving all of these have now been driven out. One of the biggest people they had.
I miss the days of TSR, for Pete's sake. My goodness.
I was going to say one of the biggest drivers, Critical Role. They created their own competitive system.
Yeah, because they did it so bad. Like they were so greedy and so incompetent in the way that they went about introducing their new system that it wasn't just Critical Role. It was Critical Role. Like Piazzo got like a
Right.
huge bump. Matt Colville got, finally just jumped off on his system. There was a couple of other people. I want to say that like Cobalt Press created their own system as well. Like
there's even way more than that too.
Oh, totally. Like, but they effectively just said, "Hey, we've made enough money, everyone. Just come cannibalize our thing. We're just doing everything we can to piss them off." And I'm not even like a CCG player, and just what they've done to the Magic the Gathering scene is just horrendous. Like I got a friend who works for them in art direction, and I fear for him. I don't know if I don't ask him if anything's going on because I'm not trying to get insider information, but like nothing good is going on there. But again, greedy AAA companies trying to not understanding the things that they bought and how they work.
Yep. And it just all comes back to they don't understand the people buying their product. And how can you ever possibly succeed if you don't even understand that very basic component? And you look at something like Peak.
I suppose you can fail upward.
You can't, but it's one of those things.
That's only internal success.
Yeah.
Externally,
it's more to the point that things can work.
Explain the Madden franchise to me then. Because
what?
Explain the Madden franchise to me, because they just seem to piss off their player base, but they seem to getting bigger and bigger.
It's getting smaller. It's Madden.
Oh, Madden.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually getting smaller.
I don't know. It's never appealed to me, so I don't get it.
But
Madden to me is a mystery that it has any success of any kind. I don't understand it.
It's starting to go down, but that's the thing. You can survive off momentum for a good long while, as long as you have enough of a player base that wants to keep playing. The problem they have is the fact that once you lose that momentum, it starts dropping off quick. Look at WoW. WoW had a good stable base for a while until it didn't. And now they're at way smaller, even though the problem for them is they still have the number of developers they had when things, they had 12 million players, and it's like, you can't afford that anymore. But they still act like they can afford that. And Madden's the same thing. They've pissed off a lot of people, and at a certain point, people just say, I'm done with this. Madden has the advantage of it is kind of an enforced monopoly, because the NFL isn't going to sell their license to multiple people.
Yeah,
and so
exclusivity contracts and all that.
So if you want to play a football game, you kind of have to go to them. And so it's a bit of an enforced monopoly.
Monster League football from the same.
I know. I was about to say. I'm like, I don't understand the appeal of Madden when there's Blood Bowl, which.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to play Blood Bowl, and I'm not trying to play Madden.
It's not a 1-for-1, and the problem is that when people have tried to chip away at that monopoly, there was a game called The Blitz a while ago. They went it was in the 90s, and they went like the edgy 90s way.
NFL Blitz
for it, and it didn't do well, and nobody has really tried. It wasn't even called NFL Blitz. It was just called The Blitz because they couldn't say NFL.
Gotcha.
It's like when I don't know. I guess when it comes to sports games, I'm not looking for realism. Like if I'm going to play an NBA game, I want the ball to catch on fire if you make 3 shots in a row.
Yeah. That's are people totally things are now so to the other side that there's an entire game series called Football Team Manager, and it's soccer football, but you're not actually playing as the team anymore. It's a sim game.
No, you're playing as the general manager.
Yeah.
And
you're doing resource management, but for a football club.
And it's just one of those things but I am looking forward, because I think 2026 is going to continue the trend. I think AAA companies are unfortunately, it's costing a lot of people jobs. But I think for these, I actually think it's obviously not good for the people. I think it's good for the industry because I think they got too big. I think they need to downsize. And I think a lot of these developers are going to go off, form their own companies, and they're going to be able to form companies of, 2 to 30 people. And they're going to be shocked what they can do without the weight of these AAA companies over their heads. And I think in the end, it's going to be a net positive for a lot of people.
Yes, and I am looking forward to so many of these, developers making their own small studios, 30 people, and I think that will be, better for them, better for us, better for the industry, and we'll see some great games come from that. There may be some people that leave the video games industry, but this probably will be better for them too. There'll be growing pains, but I think it'll be better all around. Even if it will be hard.
Yeah.
Because it's always hard to be in that position.
Yeah. Well, and on top of it, it's on some level, there's kind of been a bubble. We had a lot of investment money come into video games, especially around COVID. And unfortunately, a lot of them didn't properly identify that, hey, maybe COVID is kind of a weird time to be upscaling because it might not actually be a real thing. Maybe it's artificially inflated.
Seriously.
Because everyone's indoors. But, on the plus side, Microsoft bought Bethesda at peak value and, we'll never get their money off of it. Sorry, Bethesda. Anyway. All right, let's wrap things up because it is late. Let's start off with Petrivka. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Nope. Just happy to be here.
All right. Kamisite.
Oh, hey everyone, it's me, your old pal Kami. And when I'm not trying to stop Splice from getting your teeth, I'm also getting out there and letting everyone know about my fantastic partner, Karina J. She's got her story on Tapas and Tangled Enemies. Go check that out. I also, a while ago, made a bunch of songs just as an experiment on Suno. I've posted in the self-promotion section one of them called a song called Of Shade and Wind, which is a part of my mythology series for my homebrew Triclara setting. Also, don't give Splice your teeth. Just don't.
I still don't know what this is. Okay, Baggins.
I'll give a shout out to Hightail. This is one that Splice kind of told me about. I've been playing it a bunch, and it just feels like better Minecraft. I actually am excited to play it again, which I hadn't enjoyed Minecraft in years. But it just feels like they've put a lot more effort into some of the more immersive aspects of it, and I'm really enjoying those.
All right. Looney.
I will promote Lizzie. Lizzie's stream. She does her shiny hunting. She's actually gotten some pretty good shiny luck recently where she feels like she's doing terrible. That she actually had one, I believe, where she's like, oh, I'm just going to do one more check before we end the stream. And then that was the shiny, which
wow,
is serendipitous. So, yeah. But
what was it? Do you remember?
It's a good chill stream. No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember.
All right. And then you always can find me, twitch.tv/splicestream. I've been playing a lot of Hightail as well on stream as we slowly but surely try to build my underwater base, which has been a lot of not building my underwater base. It's been me trying to upgrade my crafting areas because I wanted to be able to get the adamantite tools, and now I have them. And so
we explored the Lost World at the bottom of the volcano.
Yeah, we found dinosaurs at the bottom of a volcano. One little corner. Was hoping to find more, but there might be a way to tame them into mounts potentially. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that part out. But no,
it's still in early development.
Yeah, it's in early development. That's the thing. Other thing probably not since Minecraft have I been in a game this early in its development cycle, and it's kind of exciting because There's new stuff a lot of the time. It's great. You should check it out.
Yep. In the meantime, though, guys, I think we overleveled.